What's up? This your boy Humble Dad. Welcome back to another edition of Humble Dad Podcast. Got a really dope episode for you today. This young man is making headlines every time you see him in his conversation piece. And for me, I enjoy the different dialogues that I get when I talk to him and I'm on screen with him on King Talk. And I was aware I didn't know who he was until he came on to now Let's Talk King Talk, and seeing that he had the ability to not take a side but be able to explain both sides of the men and women aspect of relationships. And then when I found out that he was a father, I was like, oh yeah, I got to get him on the show because I want to know what he has to say about fatherhood. And we're gonna welcome to the stage none other than Mr. Let Go.
What's going on?
I'm good, man. What's going on with you, bro?
I'm great. I'm great. Can't complain at all.
That's what's up. You know, they say if you complain, it's not like people listening. That's what they say, but I don't know. Listen,
Well, I complain sometimes when I'm going through something. I complain and people listen. So, yeah.
that's a fact. That's what's up. Let's get to it, man. First question: what do you feel like the difference between a father and a dad is?
Um, Father is somebody that actually is emotionally available to their kids, that cares about their kids, that sees their kids as individuals and treats them as such. I think a dad is just somebody who just has kids and they just pay child support and they just come and pat the kids on the head and, say good job or whatever, but don't take the time to listen to them. That's the reason. That's what I would say. I think it's really the depth of fatherhood is bigger than just having kids. Like I take fatherhood extremely seriously.
Okay. With that being said, I want to walk back when you're younger, and you say you talk about father and dad, and there being a distinct difference. So talk to me about when you were younger. Did you have a father or a dad, or did you have a father figure in your life? And take me back to around like middle school time.
Okay. I had a dad and he just wasn't around. He didn't really do anything. He was like a loser. So it was just one of those situations. So the way I was able to really realize that he was a loser is because my life, he lived. I'm from Philly. I moved to Atlanta as a young person,
Okay.
and huh?
I said okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we've been in Atlanta since I was like 6. He never helped us out or whatever. Me and my mom was homeless at one point.
Oh
We
wow.
was just out here, just and there was no assistance from him. And when we actually got, I had conversations with him, on the phone or whatever. He flew me out to Philadelphia every now and then. But the problem with that is there was never any feeling of safety from my dad. Like I said, me and my mom was just going through all this stuff. And he, my mom had his phone number, but she never felt comfortable or was able to call him and say, hey, we need help. Hey,
Mm.
we're in a bad situation. No, we was in bad situations and nobody there to help us. So part of a dad and a father is the relationship between a mom and a dad.
Right.
If they're not together anymore, can my mom call my dad and can he turn into a man and take care of her or be like have a certain amount of love for the woman that he made a kid with to make sure she's okay when she's in trouble. So it's
Mm.
not just about the dynamic between the child and the parent, it's
Yeah,
the parent and the other parent. What is their dynamic?
that's good.
Because
That's
one of
good.
the things that my children know for absolute fact is I love their mother.
How do,
And
how do they know that? Like, that's a. I want like, how do they know that you? Are y'all together?
we ain't been
Oh,
together, but
okay.
I married their mother. That's one thing, and they know for a fact I love her. to this day, like we couldn't be around each other, because if the kids have something, my kids are grown, so the
Okay.
kids have something, we both would be over there, and just our dynamic now as parents, how we will always just be able to get on the phone with each other, talk about stuff. I was just on the phone with my ex-wife, 4 days ago, 3 days ago, or whatever, and my oldest daughter was in the background. So we just always had this friendship, So
That's
call your
cool.
daddy. You talk to your daddy. Well, I ask my kids. You talk to your mama. So I'm around my kids. I'd be like, you talk to your mama? Yeah. She good? Yeah. She'll be like, you talk to your daddy? Yeah. I talked to him yesterday. Okay, he good? So that small check-in that me and my ex-wife do for each other, on each other, shows it's just so many little small things
Yeah,
that my kids can easily tell that we love and care for each other.
that's good. So when you go back to talking about your pops, you said
Not being able to be
not
there
being.
for my mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
that's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah, okay. Because I have a similar story. Just to add to it. My mom never talked bad about my dad, but my dad wouldn't. He stopped once he got remarried.
Mm-hmm.
He stopped even coming to get us, right? and and so he would try to, when he would get us, he would typically take us to somebody else's house, or he wouldn't even
Yeah,
entertain us.
yeah,
It's like, so why you come get us if
mhm,
you're not gonna do nothing with us?
yeah.
And so I totally understand that dynamic. So as you are moving into high school, did you have any father figures or role models during that particular time period?
Dudes in the hood,
Mm.
and um, I would say I was able to look at everybody around me like they're idiots, and I think that actually really helped me delineate between stupid people and smart people. And I spent a lot of my years yearning to be around non-stupid people because everybody in the hood was just stupid as hell.
Hmm.
So that gave me an understanding of who I don't want to be with, around, or like. So, a lot of kids, they want to grow up to be like some basketball player. I grew up not wanting to be like none of these damn people.
Really?
Yeah.
How
So
did,
I grew up
that's
not wanting to
interesting.
be like people instead of wanting to be like somebody.
How did that happen? Because, as you say, that would make you an anomaly, right?
Because everybody around me, because everybody was stupid. So I didn't want to be around nobody.
But
I
how
mean,
did
I
you
didn't want
just?
to be like nobody.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking, right? Because if you didn't have the people that you had in your life as father figures were, I guess the people from gangsters, if you will,
Mhm.
you know, how were you able to determine the stupid people from the smart people? Like, what was the?
Um, well, I was from Philly, and we all know people in the South are a little slower than people in the North. That's known. So I was a lot quicker as far as my thinking, my understanding, my cognitive ability, and my mom was like super smart.
Okay.
So when I moved to the South, everybody was slower than me. I had an opportunity to get skipped. My mom said no. I don't know why, but I was just because so it was just like it was really annoying to know that literally 98% of the people that I was interacting with were idiots. So yeah, I just kind of stayed to myself
Yeah.
because so I sold drugs to buy school clothes because my mom was poor. I looked at my mom like she ain't had no sense either because she didn't. Like we were homeless. I want you, just think about that.
Yeah.
Everybody, oh, mom this, mom that. Well, if we were homeless and we were living in a home and living with some people and doing all this other stuff, and the only thing that actually saved us was her Section 8 voucher, was ready for us to live in Section 8 housing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, as an adult, you know, So I didn't look at her like she had a lot of sense either, because she can't even take care of her own damn child. Why the hell would you have a child and you can't take care of the damn child? We displaced.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I even looked at her like she ain't had no damn sense. And I know that's sacrilegious to black people, but no, I look at people exactly who they are. I don't give a damn who it is.
Okay.
If Jesus came down here acting stupid, I'm be like, bro, what is wrong with you? So I don't give a damn who it is. I look at people from an objective standpoint, and I think people get mad at me because people live in a world of should. You should look at your father like this. You should look at it. No, whatever you are and whoever you are, I'm going to delineate what I see from an objective standpoint. So everybody around me just didn't have no damn sense. So I sold dope not to be cool and to wear Jordans and to have a nice car. I did all that. Did have a nice car. Did have the speakers in the trunk, the 12s and the I had 12s, I didn't like 15s. I had 12s
Okay.
in the trunk. I had the 2 amps. I had the preamp, the little amp with all the little lights under the radio. It was like right up under there. I had the pull out radio, because back in the day you pull it out and walk in the mall carrying your radio.
Yes.
I had the rims on my car. I had the reverse 8s and I had the Vogues. You know what I'm saying? I had those stolen because Vogues used to be like $600 a piece. But I bought stolen the Vogues and stuff like that. But yeah, I was a dude that paid for a $1,500 paint job on my car. So yeah, wood grain steering wheel.
Oh, that was the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did all the dope boy stuff. I had all the dope boy stuff, But at the end of the day, I wanted to get away from this shit because all of it was still stupid. So the second I had the ability to turn into an adult, I left the hood. I left the hood at 16.
Really? Okay. And that's when you went to Atlanta, or you went? Where did you go?
In Atlanta. I was in Atlanta.
Okay, you was in Atlanta. Where did you go?
Left the hood.
But you was still in the same city. You just went to a different hood.
Mm-hmm.
Got you.
Went to a better neighborhood.
Okay.
I had my first, I moved out in the suburbs when I was, I think, 18 or 19.
And so was this when you, because if I remember correctly, you got married early.
Well, I didn't get married early. I started my family early.
We didn't get married
early. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was so talk to me about when you realized that you was about to be a father for the first time. What was your thought process at that moment?
It's what I always wanted, because it was always me and my mom. So I always valued family. So I wanted that. So the girl I was with before my ex-wife, she had a 3-year-old daughter, and she calls me daddy to this day. So she was like my daughter. And my friends used to be like, yo, like, what is wrong with you? That ain't your child. I'm like, that is my child. I'll slap you in the face. That's my child. So me and her was together for like 2 years. So I would say from 16 to 16 to 18, 16 to 17, something like, I don't remember. Yeah. But me and her was together, and we had a pretty okay relationship. We lived together and all that, but that was my first ability to get out of the projects.
Oh, okay. So then you're this father, like she already had the kid, and then you're her.
Yeah, and I just became her father before I even had kids.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay, so then that's a good segue. So when you are in this at 16, 17, 18,
15, 16, I don't remember, something like that.
Okay. What do you
was young.
Yeah, what do you learn? Like, what do you remember learning from being a father? At that time?
That mothers are trash.
Okay, talk to me about that. So, as a father, we'll get to that later. We'll segue back to
single mothers. I'm sorry, not mothers. I'm sorry, single mothers are trash when it comes to parenting. They don't know what the hell they're doing. It's just really terrible. And then that's really when I was just like, okay, these little kids are getting abused and verbally. This is bad, So at a young age, I realized because my friends were getting abused and verbally abused and yelled at, and one of my friends' mom was a alcoholic, and you in the hood, all you see is single moms. We were. This might be crazy, but
I'm sure it will be.
We were having sex with one of our friends' moms. It was
wow.
It was bad.
That's wow.
It was bad.
Yeah.
So I was like, at an early age, I just looked at single moms like, okay, this is the reason why we're poor. Because everybody. I had one friend, three they were like my brothers, three guys, and the big brother, I knew him, but the two young brothers were my age, and they were like my best friends. We spent the night over each other's houses, and just going back before age of 15, 16, and all that stuff. This is when I was like 9 and 10. Mm-hmm. They were the only people in the hood who had a dad. Oh, wow. And they weren't on Section 8. And they paid $350 a month, and my mom and everybody else's moms paid $35 a month. And that's when I understood what Section 8 was, and I'm like, oh, that's what my mom was talking about, the voucher. Like, oh, we only paid $35. Wow. But my friend, his dad, their dad, he'll work at night. His big dude, right? Yeah. He'd be sitting around with his house shoes on during the day because he would sleep all night or working all night. And then he'd be looking at the Chicago Bulls or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the way he talked, the way he acted, the way he operated, he was just a man's man, you know what I'm saying? And my dad was somewhat of a militant-minded dad. So my dad was around when I was I would say 1 through 4. So my dad became a part of me, but because you could be a loser and still be manly.
That's an interesting take. Yes.
Yeah, he was a manly dude who just was living with chicks and, living off of chicks and stuff. But he was a really manly dude. You know what I'm saying? I think you got to be manly in order to attract women. So he was a manly dude. So he taught me, close your mouth. Stick your chest out. Don't talk too much. So it was a lot of militant-minded things. We used to jog to the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia and all that stuff. And I was little. So from him, my interaction with my actual dad and my interaction with my best friend's dad, that's what I seen as men. So when you say father figures, that I would say that's the closest father figure that I had. But other than that, everybody else was stupid. That's why I say 98% of the people are stupid, not 100.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you on the intelligence level of individuals because I've taught some of these people. I was a school teacher. For 11 years, and not just in the middle school, but even at the collegiate level, I taught like 8 years, right? and I'm wondering, how do you function? Because
you don't. Right. All single mothers are able to do is keep their children from dying. That's really all they do. So wake them up in the morning, dress them, take them to school, and hope they don't die.
That's interesting. I'm curious to know that as a father, how did you get to the point of saying, I want to be a good father, and I'm going to make sure that I take care of my kids?
Seeing the contrast between me and these dysfunctional ass women that I was just seeing and around and stuff. See, some of the girls that I was dating had children. When I was young, all the girls were the reason why I'm against the single mother epidemic, because the single mother epidemic, I was in the middle of it.
Okay.
The girls I was messing with, trying to get with, seeing, not seeing, looking at, admiring, they all left their mama's house. They all went and had a baby by a dope boy in order to get Section 8 so they can go pay $35 on their own. So they went across the street or in the same neighborhood and they had their own apartments. So it was pretty easy to get ass because all these little hood rat chicks had their own apartments. You ain't got to sneak the girls in your house nope. She got a whole apartment, whole household or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, all you got to do is wait for the little kid to go to sleep. Boom, you good. You know, but they were stupid too. And you would just see all these chicks, how they treated their little children. You feel me? Okay. So it was just disgusting, you know? And then going back with me, we were damn homeless. We was on the damn street, you know, and damn shelters and shit. So I had an early understanding, like, these women, they just run around spitting out babies simply so they can get Section 8. I was like, this is sad. So at an early age, I was like, yo, these children need help.
Okay.
So going back to when I was 15, 16, 17 with my first girlfriend, she would literally yell at her daughter for not knowing how to do her homework.
What?
You got to remember, my mom was really smart. Remember, I'm from Philly, so I'm smarter than the average person in Atlanta. So I was like,
Atlanta is gonna be on you, bro.
So I'm up here like, why are you so mad at her because she don't know her homework? Wow. Your job is to help her with her homework. So are you mad at yourself for not knowing her homework? Why are you fussing at? And I literally took over. I was like, you know what? I got it. I'll help her with her damn homework. You know? I was
really?
Like,
at 16, 17.
Yeah, so I'm like, stop. What is wrong with you? You know? So I literally took over the parenting duties from her.
Wow.
Because I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, stop yelling at. What are you doing?
Wow.
You know, so, you know, and
so what would you say? Go ahead.
Because I changed her life. She was living with her auntie, and I was living with my mama. I was like, yo, let's get an apartment. So I didn't take them out of the projects. I took them out of the projects with me because it was an us thing and not just me thing. Because remember, I'm trying to get out of the projects. So I get a girlfriend and her aunt was messing with one of my best friends, right? And they moved out of the projects. So they kind of gave me the blueprint on how to move out of projects because her aunt was probably like 5 years older than the rest of us. And you know, they moved out of projects and I was like, okay. So we just gonna move out of projects too. So we just moved out of projects. So I came up with a plan, but I just looked at what my friend and her auntie did. So I was like, all right, we're gonna do that. Learn how to get an application for an apartment, you know, all that other stuff, whatever. My credit wasn't good, but you know, I had a job and I sold dope. So you know, I had enough down because back then it wasn't really about credit. Right. Can you pay last month's rent? We'll let you in. So I paid last month's rent because I sold dope and I had a job that I was able to write a job down because I learned from the OGs that get a job and sell dope. Don't just sell dope because you got to be able to buy stuff and get credit. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, cool. So I learned from the OGs to always have a job while you selling dope. So at some point, you don't have to sell dope no more. So the second I got established, I was easily able to stop selling dope.
So you had a plan. So as you move and navigate, and you come to a point of that relationship ends, and then when do you get to? How many kids do you have?
I got 2 daughters.
2 daughters, and they're biological, or are you're including the girl from the first time?
Well, that would be 3 then.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah. So you have 3 daughters, 2 of them are biological. So when you get your first biological daughter, like what? Like you're a dad now again, right? And how old were you at that point?
I don't know.
So you're early, like 20s?
No.
Okay.
I was still a teenager. I was like 17.
Okay.
Yeah, I told you, I think it's 15 to 16 or 15 to something. And then I get with the other girl. Then I get with my ex-wife.
Okay. So then okay.
So
So
I
now,
leave her house. So I take myself out the lease because we break up. I won't do this no more. Because she don't let her mama move in with her. Then she don't let her sister move in. And I'm like, what the hell?
mm,
So it's more woman bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So now me and my girl live together and her mom needs to move in. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm cool with her mom. And then next thing you know, her sister move in. And I was like, all right, it's just too much going on. Right. So I was like, all right, y'all can have this. I'm out. Take me out the lease. I'm out. But I was the one who actually took her out of the projects.
okay.
So now she has an apartment. So now that's the first woman that I was able to easily say, I changed her life.
I
So
got
I
you.
got her out of projects. Now you and your mama and your sister are able to now pay rent together, and I can go on by my business because
Okay.
I don't want to be with her no more at that point.
So now you have kids. I
Mhm.
guess with your wife, right?
Well, no, that was her. So I
Yes, I
moved back
know.
with my mama.
Okay.
So I moved back with my mama. Then I meet my ex-wife, and they living kind of good. Her mom, we start dating or whatever, and she gets pregnant off the bat. Like she's fine as hell. Like we having sex in the car, we having sex in the movies, we having sex everywhere. Next thing you know, she get pregnant like super fast, and yeah, we just start getting with her. We start doing what we doing, and then next thing you know, um, her mom loses her job,
Mm,
and my now girlfriend is pregnant, and she's not gonna be able to work and all this other stuff. So I literally move in with the mama, and I just like, all right, I'm gonna move in. So I move in with the mama, I pay all the bills. So now I'm a house takeoverer.
that's what it sounds like. Yeah.
So I come into people's life and I literally just take over their whole goddamn life. Move, get out, sit down, you sit down. So when I be telling people, sit your ass down, I actually told my mom to sit her ass down. So I told my own mother to sit her ass down. Because we're talking about fatherhood, so that's a different story. So it was a point where I told my mom, you need to sit your ass down because my mom was getting beat on by her boyfriends, whatever, but that's a different story. So I told her to sit her ass down. My first girlfriend, I told her to sit her ass down. I'm taking this shit over because she was yelling at her daughter, get out of here. I'll father your child for you because you don't know what the hell you're doing. And then next thing you know, I come in and tell my girlfriend's mama to sit her ass down. So I've been telling women to sit their asses down since I was like 13 years old.
Yeah, that's what I'm following. And then it seems like I'm gonna take a different spin, right? The way that it sounds is that you don't like women, right? That's what people would say, right?
Yeah, right,
Right.
right.
And I'm like, okay, so you're not you got to be listening from a woman's ear.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because I'm like, okay, he if he's didn't like women, why does he come in and change their life? Right, what we're talking about for the better, right? And so,
Literally every woman that I've ever dated, I changed their life.
and is that because you have an aggressive tone? That's really what it's. I'm like, okay. So then this would be where you get the slogan "Women are children,"
Mm-hmm.
because from your point of view and even other men's point of view, but you experienced
They don't
where
know what
you
the hell they doing.
actually take care of them as if they were children,
Mm-hmm.
therefore being a father to them.
Mm-hmm. To them. I was a father to my own mother.
And so because I always wanted to understand,
Mm-hmm.
how did you get to your perspective?
Yeah.
Never, I couldn't say that I disagree with it because I had never heard it before, but I thought it was an interesting perspective. And just like Red Bull just said, it's good to hear your story. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
told it.
I was my own mother's. I was a father to my own mother.
That's what it sounds like. And I remember the part of the story. So as you're getting that's interesting, isn't it? That you have daughters.
Yeah. It's how
And so
God made
yeah,
it, right?
this is That's what we.
I don't even want no sons. Like no, I need to get these women in
Because
line.
you
Like
used to, you
I don't
used
need
to.
I don't need no distractions. No, I need to get these damn women in line. So yeah,
Man, this is crazy. Okay,
I got
so
3 grandbabies, all
are they?
girls.
See, you see. So you following where I'm at.
Yes.
So how do you teach? How do you? That's what I want to know. How do you teach your daughters about uh mate selection from a father? I mean, obviously from a father's
I
perspective.
don't.
Okay,
They everything goes through me.
explain it to the audience. What you mean by that?
The way life is supposed to go. This is how it works in the Italian community, in the uh, um, Indian community, and a lot of white community, European communities. You tell me who you like, and I'll tell them if you can be with them or not. All you do is you don't choose nobody. You like somebody, he likes you. Okay, now you bring him to me, and I'll make the decision on if he can stay. And if he can't stay, if he fails to live up to my criteria, he's not going to want to be with you no more, because I'm going to let him know that you don't want my daughter anymore. And if you do want my daughter after we have this conversation and I deem you as unworthy, something's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
That's what I grew up looking at Italian movies.
Yeah.
Children don't make decisions. Girls don't make the decisions. Women don't make a lot of decisions. They do make decisions, but they don't make a lot. Not when they're around real men. They sit their asses down somewhere. So with my daughters, I literally said this 2 days ago to my grown daughter. I was like, okay, you do know I don't care. I don't care because she's single. So I was like, I don't care if you 40 years old. You still got to bring the grown ass man to me, and I'm gonna have to tell you. She's like, I know, Daddy.
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm old as hell. You still gotta bring your boy until you get married. You gotta bring all your boyfriends to me. I don't give a damn how old you get.
And when did you come up with? You say you watched the movies, but like, when did you say that as a young dude, saying like, listen, because of what I seen, I'm like every one of my
Women don't have a
daughters.
lot of sense, so you can't leave anything to a woman's just own way of thinking. And then the way women have been socialized, they're worse now than they were back then.
Well, you would know more than me, because you talk to a lot.
It makes no sense for a woman to make decisions for their own lives.
Why is that?
I just said it because they don't make a lot of sense.
Oh yeah, you did.
Women are the most terrible decision makers on the planet. Women can't make good decisions. They just make. See, okay, and let me just add this.
Yeah.
I said this last night on LaPive Let's Talk. Women don't have beliefs. They have fears. That's it. Every decision a woman makes in life is built off of fear, not a belief. Because they don't have beliefs. They only have fears. So the only actual belief women have is in God, something religious. But as a man, and you know this yourself, we have definite beliefs in what needs to happen, who needs to do it, a man does it, right? Women don't have those beliefs at all. You look in their belief folder, it's like God or Jesus or something like that. Other than that, everything's empty. The whole book of beliefs in a woman's mind is just straight empty.
That's interesting. So what do you think? So man, I wish I had.
Because women are amygdala based. That's the fear based part of your brain. All right, men A lot of men, not all men, because a lot of us were raised by women. So some men are amygdala based also. So when and as far as men and women, women are more traumatized by their young lives than men are. Why? Because most of us were raised by our mothers, and single mothers are almost guaranteed to either abuse, gaslight, allow somebody else to abuse, physically abuse, verbally abuse, and any kind of way you want to say it, their daughters. Why? Because they wanted a son. They didn't want no damn daughter.
Interesting.
Most women want sons. They don't want no daughter.
Okay. Before you go there, I want to interject right there what you're saying. I was talking to this lady, and she would prefer not to be in a relationship now that she has a son, like that she adopted. Right.
That's her boyfriend.
That's I
now you see what I'm saying.
I thought about you. You know what I'm saying? When she told me that.
Yeah.
Right. Because I knew I was going to be interviewing you, but I was like, because I just heard this the other day.
And these are the people that are raising children.
I'm
now
like,
you get what I'm saying.
I want a man in the relationship to help you raise this kid.
Nope. Because they're children.
Man, it's hard for me to argue with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, because I was thinking when you said that, I said I never heard it before, so let me process it. I'm not going to be emotional. Let me just listen to how he get to his thought process, right? And then as you begin to put it together, along with you and Ricky, because Ricky would say the same thing, right? I see it, what you're talking about, because the studies show that most of the 80% of the men that are in prison or prison who are by single mothers. But then this is where I want you to touch base on as it relates to the because I was talking to another woman and she was like, well, what about the men? Okay. So talk to me about from that perspective. I have an idea where you're going to go, but what would you say to the woman that says, what about the men?
Well, it's simple. Women are fear-based. Yeah. Remember, they have no beliefs. They only have a list of things that they are afraid of. That's it.
Okay.
So right now, if I seen a rat behind you, right? Are you gonna look? Like, yo, it's a roach crawling up your wall. Would you go look?
Yeah, I'll probably look.
Because that's a fear. Like, oh shit, right? So a woman's whole life is, oh shit.
Oh wow. Okay.
So the woman that you're talking about that adopted a son and now doesn't want a man, it's because she fears men. So she wanted to adopt a male or bring a male in her life that can't hurt her. She wants a man. Wow. She fears men.
Wow.
So virtually everything that comes out of a woman's set of decision making is going to be fear-based. So going to what your question was, when a woman says, well, what about the men? Well, women choose men out of fear. So that's why 90% of every black woman's baby daddy, I'll say this, virtually every black woman in America, their first baby daddy was a loser. Why? Because she picked him out of fear. The number one thing women are brought up by their female family members, because 90% of black families are ran by just goofy ass women. They teach their women they only have fears to share with their children.
Okay.
So they don't let no man control you. Don't let no man do this. Don't let no man do that. Okay, what do I let a man do? Nothing. Oh, okay. So only one type of man would be with a woman that thinks a man don't supposed to do nothing. A loser.
So then that's what you're saying. Like the women are dealing with loser dudes.
Because they only know fear. So they make decisions out of fear because they have no beliefs. Our jobs as men is to instill beliefs in women.
And
So
then a
that's what I'm
testament
saying. So
is,
the women that I've dated as a young man, I instill beliefs in them. And now they are out here as more productive women than other women because I've instilled beliefs in them. So the women I've dealt with and deal with, they may not be perfect or whatever, but like my first girl that I was telling you about, she married to this day. She got remarried. The next woman that I got with after her, she's married to this day. So my first two real girlfriends are married to this day. Why? Because I made them marriageable.
you made them. So okay, so then, how do you think that your daughters will fare? Because you said that they would pick. They're not picking. They're just gonna
One
say,
of my
"Dad, I
daughters
like
are
this."
married now.
Oh, they are married now.
One of them.
Okay, one of them is married. So the one that is married, you selected him.
No, she selected him and she brought him to me.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Mhm.
Right. And what did you see in him
Me,
that would be good for her?
me.
Explain that.
Actually,
Because people don't necessarily know you.
she's seen me in him.
So
Her words.
walk me through what does that look like? Because let me explain why. Because I was having a conversation with, I have 4 kids, 13, 11, 8, 4, 2 girls. They're on the bookends, 13 and 4.
Mm.
And so my 13-year-old, she's very intelligent. Not pretty, she's very intelligent. And so we talk about boys. You know what I'm saying? And she don't like boys like that. She may think that they're cute, but that's it. And so I was talking to her one day about, like, I had let her watch a clip. I said, "What do you think about this?" And some woman was saying something crazy, and she said, "What she's saying is crazy." This is what my daughter says, right? And I said, "Well, what type of man would you want?" And she said, "Well, I want somebody like you."
That's it.
And so I know, and I can list some things up. I said, "What is that?"
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I can explain what me is in another male.
Okay.
One, as an example, I go to a woman's dad to talk to him. I knew my first girlfriend's dad. Me and her dad, first girlfriend. Her dad worked at a shop, Chevron. I would go there. He got so used to me where he was like, "All right, look, I'm not going to keep changing your oil. I'm not going to keep fixing your stuff. You need to do it. So I'm going to give you your own bay, and you raise it up, and you get up under there. You do it yourself, and I help you." So I literally would go when something's wrong with my car. I would go to her dad's shop, put my own car. I knew how to put the things up under each part, raise my own car up, change my own damn oil, and if I need his help, he's right in the next bay.
Wow.
So I cultivate relationships with women's dads. I cultivate relationships with women's mamas. I take over the entire family.
What if they don't want to talk to you?
They want to talk to me.
But I'm saying, what if they don't want to talk to you? What if a situation that we don't want to talk to?
I'm fucking their daughter. Why would I not want to? They not want to talk to me?
That's a great question. But I'm just saying that does happen.
But if they don't want to talk to me, I probably would dump the girl because your family are idiots.
I got you.
So if your family is full of idiots, I don't want to date you no more because that means you're an idiot too.
That's an interesting take.
Yeah. So I like I said, virtually every woman I dated, I know their mama, I know their daddy, I know their uncle, I know their brother, I know everybody in the damn family. If period, So because I think that's important, because I want to know where this woman came from. I want to know your cousin. I want to know your sister. I want to know your auntie. I want to know your mama, your daddy, your kids, everything.
Yeah.
Baby daddy. I need to know everything. So, because of that is who I am, right? And my kids grew up seeing that. So for me to set up a meeting with my daughter's husband, For him to be like me, he has to be accepting to that. Because I'm accepting to that. For a woman's dad, like, all right, what are your intentions with your daughter? I'm like, yes, sir. My intentions is this and da 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 da. Because, like I said, I grew up on the OGs. You
Yeah.
respect an OG. So
Yeah.
if a man is like, I want to talk to you, he's out. Just like if somebody parents don't want to talk to me, the woman is out because your parents are stupid.
Mm.
So yeah, I sat down with my daughter's husband and had another quite large man sitting at the table, and it was like probably 9 o'clock at night. We all parked in a parking deck, and we had a conversation. And he passed with flying colors. Respectfully, everything was great. Stood up, gave him a hug, said, welcome to the family. Now, if he would have failed, something would have happened.
Mm.
And he would have never wanted to see my daughter again. I've had men break up with my daughters before because they weren't the right people.
That's good. I like
I've had conversation with a young man and said, all right, so this is what's going to do. I need you to break up with my daughter in the next few days. All right. And if you don't, it's going to be a problem. He'll do it.
That's good. I like that. Man, listen, I appreciate your time. I wish I could talk to you forever, but you got things to do. I'm gonna get to my questions because I ran past my time because you got to your bag and I wanted you to finish that real quick for sure. So and as it has it, my it's crazy. You know, internet went down, so my questions are not up. So we're gonna do it like this.
Okay.
We're gonna go straight to the second to last question I asked. Which TV dad? You had already told me.
James Evans.
Which TV dad do you resemble the most and why?
I'm the quintessential James Evans. Like,
talk to me about that.
I love watching James Evans walk around yelling at folks and protecting his family. You know what I'm saying? So many situations where he just stood up in front of a dude. Like, and I also respect Rock. I don't know if you remember Rock, ROC. When he jacked the drug dealer up, and he told the drug dealer, I don't care if it kills me. You leave in this neighborhood. And he grabbed him by the throat. So yeah, those two are the dads that
I like that. And you went back to like James Evans. We don't have him on TV no more.
Right. Well, you have him on YouTube. Me.
Okay, that's fair because people be out here watching YouTube. Hey, but I would have been interested to hear James Evans say, "You know, women are children."
I'm sure he Florida. If you'll sit your ass down somewhere.
I think he did say that.
I'm just saying.
I think that he did say that. Yeah. Maybe not the ass part, but he definitely told her she needs to be quiet.
Sit down. Yeah.
I remember that. Okay, I got my questions. Okay. Give me a number between 20 and 40.
7.
20 and 40.
Oh, 20 or 40. Okay. 27.
How did you meet the mother of your kids? Either one of them.
I only got one mother of my kids.
Yeah, okay, yes.
At her second job. That's the reason why I chose her, because she worked 2 jobs.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. That's what's up.
And I was like, yo, you got 2 jobs? She was like, yeah. And you fine? And you pretty? She was bad. Well, she is to this day bad as hell. And I'm like, yo. I mean, she was bad. I was like, yes. Yeah. So that was it.
You still cheesing, bro. All right, give me another number between 20 and 40.
30.
What made you successful at work?
I'm extremely consistent. It's not about hard working, in my opinion. It's about focus. Because I actually don't work hard. I get up and walk around scratching my balls doing videos and stuff. And sometimes I don't even take no damn shower until I don't got done with a video. So I don't work hard. So it's not about hard working, but it's the mental state in which I operate. I'm very vigilant and focused, and I'm consistent, and people trust me. And the people I piss off, I don't care. They kiss my ass, so I don't worry about. So I don't, and that goes along with my consistency. Because if the public can make me not do something, that's not consistent.
Facts. Facts. Last question give me a number between 20 and 40.
40.
What do you think the world needs more of now?
Fathers, men, husbands. We have a single mother epidemic that is worse than the AIDS epidemic and the crack epidemic combined. These women have literally ruined Black people for at least another century. And until we take over as men and stop letting all these damn women run families, it's going to be two centuries. Because the shit that Black women have done to us, as far as just the single mother mess, because they just run around spitting out fatherless babies and depending on the government, taking men out of the equation, so the government is a man, and I mean, the government is a baby daddy, you know what I'm saying? So, going back to what you said, what about the fathers? There are no fathers. The government is the father. Because you can turn around and go up under a bridge as a woman, just raise your dress. Somebody under the bridge is going to go up in there. Next thing you know, you got a baby. So women can go work. Black women are going to sperm banks. It was a article out that there are no
single Black women are going to, or just wow.
Well, no, it's a problem. They're out of Black people's sperm because Black women are going to sperm banks. So it's so many Black women were going to sperm banks because you can look for a Black person, their sperm. They're out of sperm. So these women, they love to sit around. What about the men? Some of these women don't even know who the daddy is because they put the baby on the wrong man because she was sleeping with 2-3 different dudes within 3 months, or either she don't went to a damn sperm bank and now they're fresh out of sperm.
Wow. So
that's where all the men are. There are none because these women are just running around, just acting like children, just doing stupid shit and making babies without the use of an actual father. They're just using somebody's sperm, some idiot's sperm.
Wow. That's what Miss Mama Carol said. Handle the heifers and it can be fixed in 2 generations.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to take about 100 years for all of this to turn back around, because to this day in 2022, 90% of Black families are still ran by women. So it's going to take a whole generation. The child right now that's like 4 years old to grow up and take over their family. So that means from the age of 4 to like 30, right? That's 30 years right there for him to actually be the leader of their family, and then for him to actually lead his kids and make sure it doesn't go back, because if there's a divorce, he's out of the family, and it goes back to the women being ahead. You know what I'm saying? So the next children going to have to grow up. So that's 60 years. So yeah, almost 100 years, and that has to all happen all at the same time.
Yeah. And that's why you speak in the way that you do, because from your perspective, if I'm hearing correctly, is that women, if you make better decisions on who you sleep with, then you're going to
if you stop making decisions and find somebody to make a decision for you.
Okay.
I don't want women making no decision.
Okay, that's okay. So got you. So you're saying, listen, women, if you like a dude, bring him to Mr. Let Go, humble dad, dude that's what's interesting.
Yes.
But that's the dilemma, right? If you say that they don't make good decisions, how do they find a dude that they trust?
Well, that's the reason why it's going to take so long for all of
Yeah,
this to change,
yeah.
because most women don't have dads, they don't have uncles, or their uncles on crack or something like that, or they gay or something like that. So there's nobody to go to. So that's what I'm saying. It's going
Ah,
to take a while.
and that's why you talk how you talk,
Mhm.
and that's how I talk. Why I talk how I
Mhm.
talk. Like the
Yeah.
dude that, like for me, on my end, what I'm doing is saying, "Hey, dudes, like if you got a kid, like you need to be taking care of your kid."
Yeah.
And you're saying, woman, you need to let somebody else choose who you gonna be with,
Mhm.
because that's gonna be better for you in the end. Because dudes know dudes, like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. A man knows another real man.
I would go to any woman's
Bum.
dad and stand in front of him and answer any question.
Facts. That's just what it is. Like I don't understand what that is, what that's about. But last question. Listen. I really appreciate the dialogue, homie. Last question is, how would you want your kids to remember you?
As the one person that has ended the single mother epidemic, and now women all over the world have the same life as my kids had. Because my kids had a capable, strong, protective, loving, emotionally available dad. And none of their friends have that. So that's the thing I want to change.
We're on the same boat, bro. I really appreciate it. Hey, y'all can go check out Mr. Let Go on. Is it you on Instagram and YouTube? Or
Yeah, there's YouTube, Mr. Let Go, and Instagram is I am underscore Mr. Let Go.
that's a bit. Oh, shout out to Red Lipstick
What's
Vibe.
up, Red Lipstick Vibes?
That's what's up. And shout out to Red Bull. You
What's
know,
up, Red Bull?
appreciate that. Hey, this has been good, man. I appreciate the time once again. All those that watch it, make sure you go like, share, subscribe to the channel, and go holler at Mr. Let Go. Until next time, we out here. Deuces.